Alright lads, I'm in a little bit of a more ranty mood right now because I didn't even know this was on the NA version of the game until I logged in and I actually went through and checked the news because I was like, wait a minute, there's a new slide over there. What's going on over there? And I checked it and I saw this and I was like, what are these clowns over on A actually doing, right? Like, I have no idea what's actually going on right now. And then they just throw this our way and I'm like, okay, bro, we already have like this really slow period where, we had this really nice event in Grail Live, and then now we're kind of slowing down. We're getting the Grail front, which I do think will lead into the Summer 5 rerun. I think about next Monday, which is when they usually do their resets, that we're going to kind of bleed that event into another one. But I just don't know what buffoonery is actually going on right now over on the NA version of the game. Because I'm like, dog, why do you have 3 parts to the countdown to Lostbelt 6? Like, it almost feels to me that it's like, no, guys. We know you're really excited for Lostbelt 6. And we know that we, maybe the first time, insinuated it would have been coming out earlier. But no. Still be hype. Here's part 3, and it's like, okay, what's different about this one? Are we going to be getting maybe some early buffs, new costumes? Maybe we'll even get, like, let's say a not slice of life, but a quality of life upgrade. I mean, slice of life would be really cool for Lostbelt 6, I guess, but we're going to be getting quality updates, but none of that, bro. They're like, all right, bro, here you go. We're going to give you, some Sanct Quartz. We're going to give you a quart, and we're going to give you some apples. That's about it. I just have... No, I wanted to like talk to people that are like kind of running the NA version of the game and just question them for some decisions like this, because yeah, any Sanct Quartz is good free Sanct Quartz, but I'd almost just rather not even have this whole part 3 thing in general, because I feel like I'd be less upset with the game as a whole. I'd be like, what are you guys doing for this 20-day campaign? They're like, no, don't worry. You're going to be getting a Sanct Quartz per each of these login periods. And it's like, yeah, that's great and all, but nothing else. Like, this is, you guys just launched this out here and someone was like, yep, we are absolutely content with that right now. And I wouldn't be as upset if JP just wasn't absolutely fiending over here. Now, granted, JP probably deserves a W of like this proportions because they had a very, very rough opening to their year, which I guess wondering if we're going to have that same period over on NA, or if they're going to try to fix it and not like delay, say, like Lostbelt 7 stories, like which they, I mean, it was only for like a couple of hours, but on stream they were like, oh, we have a delay. I'm hoping they don't manufacture some delay or something when it comes to NA, but they've had a very like rough time, right? But they got like one of the best, I mean, just even stories that FGO has had in quite a while. This is one of like the best reads I've ever gone through. We got very, very strong servants. I mean, we've gotten a whole smorgasbord of different buffs, and all of them have been very, very good. I mean, even some of them, like say Nightingale, who is not going to be immediately powerful, it is still a very good step in the right direction for helping this servant out, because she is a servant that needs a lot of help, and they all really got something really nice. Nero's is a little bit weirder, but I think it's just a very good buff that they want her to be more of like a damaging servant, like say Da Vinci. But then we just have, I don't know, NA just being like, yeah, we're content with this. We're just gonna go ahead and just slap this on out there. I just don't know what the point is anymore. I guess it is just like trying to keep some hype in the NA version of the game because Lostbelt 6 is coming, which, I mean, I don't blame them. If anybody has been playing the new gacha game that has come out, the Honkai Star Rail thing, which I've been playing for a little bit, that game is legitimately very fun. Launched with like a whole lot of content. I guess it still has like the same Genshin rates, which are, pretty bad. I've been getting absolutely destroyed on the Seal banner. But regardless, I think maybe it just might be one of those things, and this could just be, ZTL crackpot conspiracy theory. But I think it might be hype gacha thing releases, and they're like, well, hold on now, guys. Remember, we got our own hype thing that's going to be coming in like a month, in early June, which is next month and everything. But I don't know. I just feel like if you're going to do, because we know they're going to do a prelude to Lostbelt 6, right? Which, I would say, oh, this is where like the prelude to Lostbelt 6 thing could go. You could be like, oh, you could just have it run for the month, and you could maybe roll out like, say, Da Vinci Riders banner early or something, if you're trying to like retain some hype for the release of Lostbelt 6. But they're not even doing something along those lines. It's literally just like, oh yeah, we're just trying to remind people that the game, it's coming out. We're just not going to drop anything with it. And I don't know, like, it's just very lazy to me, right? It's really, really lazy. And I think me and a lot of other people that have been playing the game, and I'm not trying to be negative. Usually I try to like be very positive about the game. I think, well, I mean, I think everybody can pretty much get that because like a new servant comes out and I'm always like, this servant's crazy, right? Like I'm always, you know, super positive on all that stuff. But I think it's just been of like recent, especially with how things have been on JP, that people are starting to notice, me, myself included, that the game just doesn't appear like it's being ran very well. And things are just incredibly slow when they really don't have to be, if that makes sense, especially with me kind of broadening horizons a bit. You guys may know that I've been getting into Arc Knights recently, and I think I'm really going to be getting into this Star Rail game because it is a lot of fun. I find myself playing it for like hours on end. It is very addicting and very, very fun to play. I find myself playing these other games that just seem like they're more better managed, that like little things like this that FGO is doing are starting to like grate on me more and more. They're starting to become a little less tolerable, right? Because initially, like first 3 years of the game, I'm like, well, yeah, not a whole lot of mobile games even make it to their third year, let alone like, or even their second or first year. So you guys are fine. Like, you know, you guys are trying to get your, you're dipping your feet into the mobile market. You guys are trying to get yourself situated there. But at this point, I'm just like, why are we still like so slow? Or like, why do we just have periods where it'll just be like the story banner sitting there, or there's just nothing going on? Because I know that they view something like Grailfront as like actual content, right? Like they view this as like an actual event because they could just slap it on there, they leave it. But realistically, it is one mission you get to play every day, right? And that unlocks over the course of 7 days, which, let's be honest, that's really not a whole lot to be doing on FGO. Because then afterwards, you're like, I guess I'll go do dailies. I mean, that's kind of why they incorporated the blue apple thing, right? And if you're my NA players and you don't know what I'm talking about, basically you can convert any unused stamina into blue apples that you can use later. And I'm like, it's a really neat idea, but I think that really is telling of how slow the game can get sometimes. And I don't know, I'm just expecting more from like the #1 mobile game on the planet, right? And if for people that don't know what I mean by like #1, it truly is one of like the most popular games, because FGO was in a huge rut for their JP version, right? Like they were, I think, in like spot like 105 or something. Like they were really low compared to like all the other gacha games because of how slow it got. But then they dropped Time Mat and they immediately shot up to #1. And so I'm like, man, you guys have like this like really like dedicated fan base, me myself included, that are really wanting to see this game do well and succeed, but just need more. Like I just want to actually see more. I think I'm starting to get to that point where playing other games has caused me to kind of look at FGO and expect to get more. And then just little things like this are just starting to be like less like less and less acceptable, I guess is the way that I would say. But I don't know if like I'm the only one like feeling that. Like let me know in the comments down below. Am I the only one that is just like getting a little bit upset with how things are being managed in FGO? I've talked about it on stream a couple of times, but every time I mention it, it just starts to become, I don't know, it just starts to grate on me a little bit more, I guess is the way I would say it. But I don't know, because, you know, originally, like I pretty much only played FGO, but I started exploring other things. And, you know, like people will know that I play Dokkan a lot, right? Like Dokkan's like one of the other games that I play a lot as well. But Dokkan's a little similar to FGO in that like they don't release a whole lot at a time. They kind of trickle out content, but they have stuff that you can do instead of just not doing dailies. You have like events that are always up and such that you can always challenge and test out your teams. Whereas like FGO, for the longest time, I've been clamoring for them to kind of do the memorial quest thing, but at least have those open all the time, or something like that. Stuff that you can like farm or do that's not just like dailies that are almost a waste of AP, because you're like, wow, 40 AP for 2 million QP, sign me up. I get to do 3 of that and then I'm done. It's kaput. You know, I can't do anything else for like half the day. I don't know. It's just one of those things that like FGO, just little things like this are kind of like bringing that demon out of me, right? That is like not having a whole lot of, I don't want to say I'm not having fun, but it's just the fact that like it's just getting upsetting. It's getting grating. And I think I'd be a little bit more understanding if they were a smaller company, but I'm like, dog, this is like one of the biggest mobile games on the planet. We gotta expect more from these people. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I mean, hey, we're going to be getting some Sank Quartz. That is good. I'm never going to turn down free Sank Quartz, right? Like, that's always really good. Free currency is free currency, but I don't know. I'm expecting more. Yeah, I already said let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Late, guys.